Associative learning is a type of learning in which an association is formed between two stimuli or between a stimulus and a response. It includes classical and operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is instrumental conditioning. It's a form of associative learning in which the likelihood that an instrumental response will be performed, and it depends on the consequences, the reinforcing stimuli that follow it. So this follows B.F. Skinner's example with the Skinner box. Classical conditioning is the Pavlovian conditioning. It's a type of associative learning in which an originally neutral or conditioned stimulus acquires the power to elicit the response normally elicited by another unconditioned stimulus after the two stimuli are paired. A response elicited by the unconditioned stimulus is called an unconditioned response, and a response elicited by the conditioned stimulus alone is called a conditioned response. And this follows Ivan Pavlov's example when a dog salivates when presented with an auditory or visual stimuli. A cognitive map is a mental representation of a spatial relationship. It's formed by animals to solve mazes. A place cell is a neuron within the hippocampus that selectively fires when the animal is in a specific location, and a grid cell is a neuron that selectively fires when an animal crosses the intersection point of an abstract grid map with a local environment. It acts like an innate system of latitude and longitude. A border cell is a neuron that selectively fires when an animal arrives at the perimeter of a local spatial cognitive map. A sensory buffer. There are 4 different duration categories for memory. Sensory buffer are the briefest memories, so the element of the type of memory that stores the sensory impression of a scene. Short-term memory is the form of memory that usually lasts only for seconds or as long as rehearsal continues. Working memory is a type of short-term memory that holds information available for ready access during performance of a task. And intermediate-term memory is a form of memory that lasts longer than short-term memory, but not as long as long-term memory. Long-term memory is an enduring form of memory that lasts days, weeks, months, or years and has a very large capacity. Primacy effect is the superior performance seen in a memory task for items at the start of a list, and this is usually attributed to long-term memory. Recency effect is the superior performance seen in a memory task for items at the end of a list, and this is usually attributed to short-term memory. The systems for creating and retaining memories consist of 3 general stages. These include encoding of raw information from the sensory channels into short-term memory, consolidation of the volatile short-term memory into more durable long-term memory, and retrieval of the stored information for use in future behavior.